The next thing, so several people asked some really good questions about, I have more than one type of customer, and they have more than one type of problem. And we have different problems that for our different types of customers. So what we're going to focus on right now is how to target your niche. Specifically, how to get rich by targeting your niche. Ironically, the way to go big is by focusing small. And this is sometimes some of the scariest thing for us entrepreneurs to do, is by focusing on a narrow niche. And the reason why a lot of us get scared when we talk about focusing on a very narrow particular customer is we say, well, what about all those other customers? What about all the business that I'm going to lose? And what we've discovered that is absolutely the truth is that if you want to dramatically increase your sales, you can do that by targeting a niche. If you want to dramatically increase the potential success of your business, you can do that by targeting a niche. Targeting a niche can mean the difference between success and failure of your business. So the first thing that we're doing is we're figuring out where the customer is and what they're willing to pay for. And the way we do that is by asking the customer what is their biggest problem. But remember, you're going to have different kinds of customers, and they're going to have different kinds of problems. There we go. Thank you. So when we look at what it is, what are we doing here? We're actually segmenting the market. That's what you would, if you went to a marketing school or took a marketing class, they call this market segmentation. All market segmentation is one customer has one kind of a problem, and you're going to make a solution for that problem. Another customer has another kind of a problem, and you're going to make a solution for that problem. When we have, remember I told you what the definition is of your niche. It's a similar group of people who share the same problem. It's a similar group of people who share the same problem. And you want to treat your marketing as a desirability problem of your customers. What do I mean by that? I mean, your marketing is all about your customer's specific problem. And we know there might be different customers are going to have different problems. So we want to treat our marketing as a desirability of their problem. And it's not just when a lot of times when I ask people what is their niche, or they would say to me, hey, I want to figure out, I want to find people in a specific niche, and they tell me their age or their gender or what kind of magazine they read or what kind of car they drive, and when that doesn't really relate so much to the kind of work that they do. So the question that we want to ask ourselves is, why did those who buy? And when successful entrepreneurs are asked who buys their product, they usually do not respond with, well, it's men between the ages of 35 and 45. They usually don't respond with demographics. They usually respond with specific buyers and their particular pain. Well, it's an enlightened entrepreneur that wants to make 6 figures and live and work from anywhere in the world. It's a specific type of customer with a specific pain, passion, and need. Okay, so when you're trying to figure out your niche and your particular kind of customer, we want to figure out the specific buyers and their particular pain, their particular passion, and their particular need. And so now what we're going to do is those different customers that you have and those different problems that you have, I want you to take out a pen and paper right now, and I want you to write down, we're now going to focus on your high pain client. Okay, so we had the exercise before, we wrote down 5 different problems. We have 5 different problems from our tribe. Now what I want you to do is I want you to go back through that list of problems that you create, that your customers have, that list of problems, and let's focus on the most lucrative customers' number one problem. What is the customer, the one who's going to pay you the most for your services, the one that's going to refer you the most customers, the one who's going to, that ultimately, you're going to make the most money from. So, and Afreen, if I could get one of those as well, so I could just see the exercises. So right now, take out a pen and paper and write the answer to this question, because thank you. You did the exercises already, and so we're not on this exercise sheet just yet. We're not on the exercise sheet just yet. The first question that I want you to write down the answer to is, what is your most lucrative customer's number one problem? This is the high-paying client. Just take a moment right now, write down the answer. Your most lucrative customer's number one problem. How many people don't know who their most lucrative customer is? Oh, everybody else does. Wow. Okay, there's just a couple people. Okay, don't worry. We're going to get to, for those of you who raise your hand, don't worry. We're going to get to that on the next question. But just write down, what is your most lucrative customer's number one problem? Okay. So whether you do or do not know who your most lucrative customer is, the next question is, and this can help you figure out who your most lucrative customer is. The next question is, what customer is in the most pain? Out of all of the problems that you can solve, who's the one that's in the most pain? And that could be physical, but it could also be emotional. It could also be financial. Out of all of the potential customers that you have right there, who's the one that's in the most pain? Who's the one that has the highest amount of urgency? Who's the one that will do anything to get out of their pain and their problem right now, today? That, if you did not know who your number one most lucrative customer is, that's a good place to start. It's not 100% of the time, but it's a good place to start. Typically, what we see here is the highest paying client. You could refer to it as the lowest hanging fruit or the highest paying client. It's the one that is in the most urgency and the most pain. They're the ones who they will pay anything. They will do anything to have somebody that can help them and solve their problem. Last one is, who are the ones who are actively searching for a solution to their burning problem? Right now, who is actively searching for a solution to their burning problem? Who's the one that is actively searching for a solution to their number one problem? Yeah, from among your customers. Okay? So, what we're going to do is we're going to create your customer's problem statement. And I want you to begin with the highest paying client. Probably everybody in this room is going to have more than one type of client. Probably everybody in this room is likely to have the kind of lower end client, the medium tier, and the higher end tier. Somebody who's going to buy our $10 book, somebody who's going to buy the $500 information product, and somebody who's going to buy the $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 coaching package or coaching program. They're going to likely have different problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an exercise where you're going to create your customer's problem statement. So the way you're going to do this, the first part of your exercise is you're going to write, what is their number one problem? What is your high-paying client's number one problem? So now it's time to take the exercise. So what is your most lucrative customers? We're going to start out with their number one problem. And we're going to focus on our highest paying client. And first question is, what is their number one problem? So for example, a lot of our clients, they come to us and they say, out of all of the different problems, they say, our number one problem is I do not have enough consistent income. My business creates some income here, some income there, but I'm on this income roller coaster and it's just not consistent. Out of all of the problems that they have, that is the biggest one. That's the one where they have the most pain. Question number 2, you're going to write your customer's number one frustration. All right, and I want you to start to see if you can distinguish. This is a very useful exercise to create for you to practice the nuances in marketing, the difference between a problem and a frustration. And don't worry if it takes a couple tries. That's okay. So if the number one frustration, all right, number one frustration is not having a profitable online business that affords me to pay for my kids' summer camp. Okay, that's a frustration. Frustration is my online business is not profitable enough that affords me to pay for my kids' camp or affords me to go to Costa Rica or goes to Africa, whatever it is. That's a frustration. So what is your client's number one frustration? And then the last thing is, what is your client's, and I need to keep referring to this. I'm talking about your high-paying client. Your high-paying client. What is their number one fear? What is your client's number one fear? For example, and I've heard this from lots of customers that we've interviewed. I wake up at 3 a.m. with a panic attack. My heart's going 100 miles an hour because I don't know how I'm going to make a mortgage payment. Or a panic attack because I don't know how I'm going to pay for some significant expense that I've already committed to that I have coming up. That's an example of one of our customers' number one fear. So right now, write your high-paying client's number one fear. So what we're going to do with this, you've got their number one problem, your high-paying client's number one frustration, your high-paying client's number one fear. And what we're going to do with this is you're going to create your high-paying client's problem statement. And the reason why we're doing this is we're doing this to help you streamline your marketing and get in your marketing so that it talks specifically to your high-paying clients. If you want to attract your high-paying clients, they need to know that you understand their problem, their fear, their frustration. They need to know that you speak their language. They need to know that you understand them better and can explain these problems that they have better than they can themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to write our high-paying customer's problem statement. Here's an example. Here's an example of my high-paying customer's problem statement. I'm sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck and not having the abundance that I should have at this stage of my life and provide for my family. I'll say it again. I'm sick and tired of living paycheck to paycheck, not having the abundance that I should have at this stage in my life and provide for my family. That is an example of our customer's problem statement. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to pair up. And we're going to do an exercise. And the exercise is for you to share with your partner your high-paying client's number one problem, their number one frustration, and their number one fear. And by saying and brainstorming with your partner, come up with your high-paying client's problem statement. And the problem statement should be about one sentence, okay? This is not, you're not writing a book, okay? We're going to do about one sentence is ideal. 2 sentences if you're going long, okay? But ideally, we want to keep it short. So what we're going to do is we are going to take, let's see, it'll be 4 minutes apiece. So if we can set the timer, we're going to do 4 minutes apiece. Partner up now and go tell your partner what your high-paying client's number one problem is, their frustration, their fear, and write your high-paying customer's problem statement. Do that now.